Let's do this.
Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Elise, and I am joined today with. Oh wait, that's the wrong way. Wait, that's still the wrong way. Huh?
Other way.
Wait, but it's still wrong. Oh.
There. And I'm Andi.
And we're here today for the Rewind Book Club discussion. Rewind Book Club discussion for The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This was what was the last month? August book pick, and we had time reading.
Did we ever have a live show for Miss Peregrine's?
No, we did not. So if we end,
we can do like a 5-minute wrap up at the end.
If we end this quickly, or if we're just really feeling it, we might discuss Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, because I was disorganized and so was everyone else, and we never discussed it.
Listen, school was started, people were starting different jobs. It was a wild time.
No one read it. Hello.
Hello, welcome.
I love that we are now the plans. Oh, I'm so excited.
I enjoyed
another hater. Sorry, I don't know why I made that like a mini song. And if anyone saw the thumbnail, Dimitri is not here today. We are wishing him the best right now. Hi, Sarah. Wait, there you go. Hello. But I guess really quickly, since it's just Andy and I, we can go over what we rated this book.
I have yet to actually put up my rating because I finished this at 5 a.m. while doing my overnight shift at work. If I have to give like a shock rating right now, 1.5 stars. It gets 1 star because I finished it, and then a 0.5. I guess nostalgia mostly.
So you read it before?
Yeah, I've read it before. I read it when it first came out, because I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those Tumblr kids that was like, oh my god, the Green brothers, the Vlog brothers. So I guess it took me back. It took me back a lot.
If you did have a rating for it when you first read it, do you remember? Or if not, do you remember?
I gave it a
general
3. I think on my Storygraph and my Goodreads, I think I gave it a 3.
Oh,
because I was a child when I read it.
Interesting. Okay, so even as a child, you still had some sense of taste. I like that for you. This was also a reread for me. I read it close to when it came out. I think probably slightly after. It's probably when I was 13. But I thought I originally gave it 5 stars. My memories deceived me. Apparently, I originally gave it 4 stars, and my new bright and shiny rating is 2 stars.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
If anyone else has read it, you should definitely drop your rating or thoughts down below.
Amen.
Anyone else is not having a good time?
OMG, my fiance still has the book. I should go grab it and follow.
I did. I wish I bookmarked some quotes. I did some reading sprints yesterday with Dimitri, and I had some fantastic quotes. By fantastic, I mean what? And maybe I'll find them again. Really, just I missed opportunity. Hello. Everyone should participate in the Ace Race Readathon next month. Yes. But anyways,
I struggled with this book.
So did I.
I struggled. It was a genuine struggle to read this book.
It was. And you know what? I'm kind of disappointed because I was really expecting to still like it. Because I don't like to hate on books. You know how people find it fun to hate on books, especially popular books? I do not find that enjoyable. So I was ready to support John Green and say, y'all just want to hate books that teens like. But no, it was actually trash.
Okay. Like I said, I was really big into this might age me a little bit, but when I was a young, impressionable teenager, emphasis on impressionable, pre-DashCon era Tumblr, I understand why this book was so popular, but as an adult now rereading this, I'm like, why was this book so popular? But like you said, I didn't want to hate it because that's such a cliche thing to do, is to hate on things that are generally marketed and geared towards teenage girls, such as most of John Green's books. But But no, I was like, ooh, this was not okay. Okay, who did that?
No one.
Oh God. See, I also didn't want to be negative towards this book.
I know.
But
I really don't want to. But and here, solid quote. I mean, the simplicity.
It's the defining feature of this book. I remember when the movie came out, all those shirts.
Oh.
They had like little bubbles on it.
How do I make it stop moving? No, sorry, don't mind me. Oh, I see. Yeah, I still have posters from. No, I like it when it moves, but it's really distracting. But I think we can be distracted for a hot second, just for the fun of it. But yeah, I still have posters that they gave out for free at the movie theaters. I think I maybe had it like a Hot Topic T-shirt or something. Oh, how times have changed.
I went to watch it because I was like, oh, I read the book and I wonder how well it fared. And I do remember the movie actually being a rather faithful, surprisingly adaptation of the book in terms of themes, key moments, and character development. But I also remember not liking the movie as much.
Yeah, me either. Also, Sierra, Dimitri is supposed to come. I don't think he is anymore. If you want to join the stream, send me a message right now on Twitter. I'll literally send you the StreamYard link and you can hop on here if you really want to. But yeah, otherwise it might just be me and Andy. But yeah, maybe since both of us reread it, we can say some initial thoughts, but it sounds like we already have some pretty intense initial thoughts.
I will say that saying that I actually read this book this time would be a very generous statement. I skimmed because normally what I do when I'm doing these third shifts, the overnight shifts, is that I listen to the audiobook like on like 2x speed and do all the stuff I need to do throughout the night. But that wasn't the case. My library did not have
I don't think it has an audiobook.
It does, but it's like on CD.
Yeah, because I couldn't find it anywhere. So when I was really struggling, I found some random person who read it out loud on YouTube.
I was going to do that, but I because there was no what's the word I'm looking for? Like stabilization of the audio when doing it on like multiple times speed. And I was just like, can't do it. So I literally downloaded the book like on using Libby on my phone, finished up everything I had to do like in record time, and then went to read it, like just skimming it, because when you reread these books, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this part, I don't need to. And also a lot of the quotes in this book are insanely pretentious, and I didn't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah, if anyone was on my reading sprints yesterday with Dimitri, I'm going to be repeating myself, but one thing that I think probably would have appealed to the 12-year-olds who read this in 2012 that just doesn't read well when you're reading it as an adult now in the early 2020s is the quotes, because this book is incredibly quotable. I remember all of these quotes. People had tattoos, or what do I mean had tattoos? They still have those tattoos. There's posters. Like, it was a very quotable book, but like now, like I remember those quotes, but now reading those quotes in the context of the rest of the book, it felt like John Green wrote the quotables beforehand and then just dropped them in.
Just like wrote the story around them.
Forced and weird. I
100% agree. It feels like he wrote, how like something is like Tumblr bait?
Yes.
This book feels like Tumblr bait. Much like how I believe the Mortal Instruments are Tumblr bait. Like, there's just what
I want to find.
Yeah, I immediately, as soon as I was done with this book, I immediately returned the book to my library. I was like, I'm done. I don't want to look at it anymore.
I bought this full price too, because I bought it when it came out at Barnes & Noble. Now, one of my character developments is that I've realized you can find books that are not $24. So, yeah.
Character development, we'd love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I forget that is a thing.
Which is like super weird because, again, like my library has a CD copy of the audiobook so clearly the publisher still probably has either copies of it or like the audio files. Why not just upload them as a digital audiobook? But it's not my job to figure that out.
If you see me looking down, I'm trying to find quotes. I did technically, like, it's not unbearable in the sense that, like, I couldn't finish it because I did read it in a night. Like, it was fast-paced. It captured my attention in the way that I read most of the words on the pages, but that just does not mean it was good. I
read this book like how you fall asleep, slowly at first and then all at once. That quote.
How many times have I done that on screen? But if
that's
anyone's
really how I read this
any
book.
kind of structure to this live show, there will be none. It's just a hate fest and a half.
Oh yeah, I did not write notes. I typically write notes for this kind of stuff, so I have all my thoughts planned out and I have questions to ask everybody.
No.
Like I said, I finished this at 5 a.m. this morning. Got home from my shift, took a 2-hour nap, and now I am here.
Yeah.
So we are just.
Let me know if you'd like to.
Oh no, I'm fine. I have my caffeine. I'm ready to go.
I feel like what's fundamentally wrong with the book is just, and I forgot. I think this is like the third live show I'm saying this in the past 24 hours. But John Green, which is so very John Green, likes to make his characters wise beyond their years. And you know what? There are there are real life people out there that have acquired some wisdom, or maybe they're super intelligent, but it's just so weirdly forced. They're pretentious and not very likable. It's just, why?
I can believe one of the I will say 3 main characters, and by 3 I mean 2.5 characters being like, like pretentious and like wise beyond their years and saying, but all 3 of the children, Isaac, Hazel, and Augustus.
It's just unnecessary.
Dimitri, he's in the chat.
Hi, Dimitri. Thanks for stopping by really quickly. And thank you for running sprints yesterday. We had a good time trashing this book.
But yeah.
Not to be mean to the...
Yeah. I feel bad because, like, John Green's fall from grace has always been something that's been, like, really weird to me. Like, again, it happened slowly at first and then all at once, and now, like, Hank is the more popular brother when it used to be the reverse.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel bad. I really wanted to like it, but yeah. I have one quote that I read out loud yesterday.
I would like to hear it.
I do remember back in like 2013, 14, 15, one of the criticisms being the fact that John Green writes the same character in all of his books, and people didn't like that. But when I was 13, 14, 15, I didn't really pay attention to that, and I didn't really care. Now, after reading many books in my life,
I feel you.
I see it. And one particular thing I'd like to critique.
Dang!
I don't know if I've ever actually watched one of their videos. Yeah, no, it is not good. Please do not reread. But yeah, I hate the way he writes gendered characters. I read this exact same quote on my live show yesterday, but here we go. Ready? "You look nice," he said. "I was just wearing this just past the knees dress I'd have forever. Girls think they're only allowed to wear dresses on formal occasions, but I like a woman who says, you know, I'm going over to see a boy who is having a nervous breakdown, a boy's connection to the sense of sight itself is tenuous, and gosh dang it, I'm going to wear a dress for him." Oh, I forgot I'm a girl. I can only wear dresses on formal occasions. And it was funny because yesterday I was literally wearing a dress too, and the only place I had gone yesterday was like Target. It's like, oh yes, my special edition, my special occasion, a Target run.
Yes. And these quotes, stuff like that, and like all of his other books, make me think that John Green has only ever interacted with a very specific type of woman who probably happens to be his wife.
Well, I was wondering, is he?
He is married. I believe he's married. Last time I checked, again, that was in 2013. I do not know this man's life beyond that. He was married and had a child.
Can I do a little quick Google search. Is John Green still married? Don't mind me, everyone. Not to be rude, but...
Oh, my cousin and I were actually talking about this literally 15 minutes before this live show start, and I feel like John Green watched... this is actually untrue because I believe Looking for Alaska came out before what I'm about to say happened, but it feels like this. It feels like he watched Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the movie, and was like, I need to find my Ramona Flowers, but did not understand that the whole point of the movie, well, the comics I should say, is that Scott Pilgrim is an awful person, and you should not be romanticizing your manic pixie dream girl because she is a person.
Yes. Also, I just looked it up. He's been married since 2006, and they have
okay. So he is
together. Wow.
He is yeah. So I guess his wife.
I love that.
Why did John?
Oh, Sarah, I didn't notice you on the bottom. I'm sorry. What the heck? Oh, it's only been a minute. Are you good? Can I add you now? Okay. We have another guest.
Hi.
You want to quickly say your name? Even though it's right there.
Hi, my name is Sierra. My channel is Sierra Lynn, and I use they, them pronouns, and I haven't read the book since 2016, but I have it here.
You mean you read it once, you read it enough.
Once
you read it 0 times, you read it enough.
That is true. That is true. Nice to see everybody.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much.
No problem.
The emotional impact of the ending wasn't there for me because I already knew it was good.
Okay, the thing about this, and I was complaining about this also, is this book is about cancer. Oh, also, if anyone hasn't read the book, this book is about cancer and death. So if that is not something you'd like to hear about, please tap out now.
There's also like a lot of descriptions of like being in a hospital and experiencing what it's like to be chronically ill. So like if that is also a trigger, like please be advised.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing is like this book is about cancer and kids with cancer, and that's an inherently sad topic, and it's really difficult not to make that topic sad. I mean, like, it's going to be sad no matter what, even if the writing is garbage. So John Green already has points for that. Like, of course it's going to be sad. Of course someone's going to die. It's about cancer. And I feel like that's why a lot of people liked it. But
I think it's because, like, in my youth, I did not read a lot of sad books because I was a quote-unquote happy child. And I liked reading adventure novels, you know, where, like, sure, bad things happen, but they always, like, you know, turn around in the end. So reading this book where there's, like, a major character death, like, at the 3/4 mark, was like, what the hell? I think that's also one of the reasons why people liked it a lot was because, like, again, young, impressionable youths being like, this is our first like real character death, where there is quote unquote emotional weight and narrative weight to the death. So we're like, oh
I also believe. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm completely done.
I also believe like some of the good things about The Fault in Our Stars, if there's a few.
There are some. Go ahead.
There are some. I believe it talks a lot about, and granted, haven't read it since 2016, but I do have my fiance's copy. It talks a lot about mortality, and it teaches kids that not every story is gonna end with somebody being there in the end. And I definitely think it's definitely more geared towards like older young adults, I think, because of the fade to black sex scene, and also the ending, obviously, and the 3/4 of the book, he's getting really ill, and it looks like he's not going to make it. So, I
totally agree with that.
I can give the book that, but there are a lot of issues that I'm sure we're going to go and talk about.
I do have I think 2 things that I want to discuss about the book that like really irritated me. The first one being when Gus brings the pack of cigarettes on the plane and is like dangling the cigarette in his lip. I don't know if anyone else remembers the scene, but he's like really nervous that he's on the plane. So, and then the flight attendant's like, "Hey, you can't smoke," and he's like, "It's a metaphor," and Hazel has to explain what's happening, and I was like,
embarrassing,
dude,
that's really cringe though.
I get that you're not going to light the cigarette in a plane. However, if we're taking the same metaphor that you used earlier, such as you're putting the killing thing in your mouth and not giving it the power to kill you, that's like me playing knifey fingers on the plane and being like, why won't you let me do it? I'm not going to actually stab myself. It's a metaphor. And the flight attendant being like, you need to leave. Like,
oh my god,
I didn't understand. I don't get it. It did not need to happen.
so bad.
It really did.
That entire like paragraph and a half could have been deleted and nothing would have been lost. In fact, I think I rated the book less because of that scene.
Oh my god, I don't blame you. Also, for those of us who have saved some brain cells by not rereading it recently, that it's a metaphor cigarette thing is in the first chapter. Like, that is when the whole it's a metaphor thing is revealed. It is not like some mid-book character development point. No. It is the first chapter, like right as we're being introduced to Augustus.
I feel like it would have been better, and not again. I do this every single time I read a book. I'm like, well, if I were the author or the editor, I would have changed this because I think I'm smarter than everyone else. I don't actually think that. I'm just an ass. If this had been revealed like slowly throughout the story, and then like on the if we're gonna have the fucking I have the cigarette in my mouth on a plane thing, him being like, oh, like Hazel's being like, I never asked you, why do you always have cigarettes? You never seen the light them. And then him being like, it's a metaphor. I would have been like, okay, weird. We'll take it.
Oh, I like that comment a lot.
Sorry, this is a Wendy's.
Like,
wait, this is a good one too.
Also, I don't. Someone said, I think it was the same person who said that they like Hank Green more as a writer. I agree with that.
I haven't read that book, so
I haven't either.
I mean, I read both books and I really loved them. Granted, I did love this book at the time of reading it, and I've definitely grown and evolved as a person since then. Mm-hmm. So it's like I can like appreciate things that are good and also point out flaws and be critical, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
The second you go.
No, go to the second thing.
No, you go first.
No, I was gonna say something positive, but
never mind. Second thing I really want to discuss. I desperately want to discuss. We all know where I'm going with this. I hope we all know. The Anne Frank house scene. And everybody clapped. You're telling me that everybody in that house clapped? Nobody was sad? Nobody
was sad
an international monument dedicated not only to a family and a teenage girl who lost their lives to a genocide, but a monument to the 6 million people who lost their lives in that genocide. And you had to kiss this boy there, and everybody clapped. And everybody, that was an actual line that was in the book, and everyone clapped. Like, I could understand if someone was like, go guys, make out in the Anne Frank house. I could understand if one person did that, but everybody?
Yeah,
I laughed out loud.
Phoebe, have you read the book? Or are you just a hater by default?
Did you not know this?
No, that is like...
I knew this, but I forgot.
I think it's better if you don't remember, so I'm sorry that we just put that back in your memory.
I read the book. Trust me, I read the book. Yeah. I just forgot. I forget some aspects of certain books that happen. But oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad.
It wasn't like a hardcore makeout like I'm describing it. It was just them like kissing. However, what fuels my
what followed
hatred is again a monument to people who died in a very terrifying, horrific way. And also, and everybody clapped. That is the most Tumblr phrase I've ever heard. It could have been,
my God, it's like
literally anywhere else. It could have been outside of the house, and I would have been like, whatever, it's fine. But inside.
Can I provide an aside to that along with that? It's like those stories about Tumblr that like that actually happened, you know? It's such like a Tumblr story or like a Reddit story where it's like
it was true. I was the staircase that Hazel posted.
And my 3-year-old daughter was the doctor. It really happened. Oh God. Yeah. No, like literally anywhere. It could have been immediately after they entered. I mean, like after they exited, it could have been at any other point. But not only did they kiss in the house, the scene was interspliced with words by Otto Frank talking about his dead daughter.
Yes, and
it is the most like disrespectful shit I've ever read.
Yeah, there was like a clip playing of him, and he was being all sad, talking about suffering and his dead daughter and everything. And they were like, they as in Hazel and Augustus were like, you know what? That is so true. You know what we should do to celebrate this moment? We should make out at the Anne Frank house.
In like the actual room where they were.
Yep. Yeah.
Right where
they were holed up for.
Yeah. It was
to hide from bad people.
I know.
I'm not gonna say. But yeah.
I know that it's like
entirely disrespectful.
I know that it's fiction and that it didn't actually happen. However, feels bad.
Yeah, no.
They also filmed a movie. They filmed a movie with that scene in it, and I think everybody clapped too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
people. I wonder if there's a comment at the bottom that says, "I wonder if after the book came out, if some people had the audacity." I'm gonna look that up.
They have.
Do you remember way back when like Justin Bieber went to the Anne Frank house and was like signed the guest book and was like, "Oh, Anne Frank would have been a believer."
That is like a really deep memory in my head.
It was until I spat it out, and now it's there for the world to have.
What did Anne Frank to do to deserve this from us?
Okay, so allegedly.
Yeah, that happened allegedly.
Go to the actual Anne Frank house. Thank God. Can you imagine if that actually happened? They recreated it like in a studio.
Oh, thank God. But still.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any like somebody attempted to do the kiss. Hopefully people I say hopefully, but I know because I'm a dumb human person that human beings are very dumb and will do dumb things. So I hope that nobody did it out of respect.
Yep. I think I'd like to think, people were interested in Amsterdam and interested in the history from this book. And I'd like to think that they went to Anne Frank house with the intention, but learned the history and then didn't do anything. They just were respectful.
Nobody had the intention. I hope that nobody even was like, yeah, we're going to do that. Let's go on our vacation.
Let's see the sights of the Fault in Our Stars.
I feel like for many parts of this book, you could pretend that there are definitely some deeper meanings about life and fear of death, especially with Augustus's character, because constantly in the book was like, I want to be remembered, blah, blah, blah. as insufferable as that is, I'm sure you could say some deep, insightful things about, coping with death at a young age. However, this is not an English class. This is Elise's BookTube channel, and we're not going to do that. I think the characters were so annoying and self-centered. I don't care what deep messages John Green was trying to convey. So many scenes in the book just came off as so self-centered, and you know what? Just can't.
Where was this couch? Just out of curiosity, do you know where the couch was? I just want to know. How did your sister go to the couch?
Was the couch outside?
You know what would have been a better location for that kiss? The Vincent van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam.
There you go.
Yes.
I would be like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like Vincent van Gogh, literally very short, tragic life, had a very tragic death, was very caught up in like his own mortality and depression and whatever. It fits all of the themes of this book, and it would have been a billion times less disrespectful. I'd be like, what if we kissed in the Van Gogh?
Andy, I think we were sorry. No, it's okay. I just wanted to add a little thing, and I'm making a joke here. This is entirely a joke. But yesterday I was in the comments with Elise and Dimitri, who were doing this sprints, and we were talking about fan fiction. So I think you should write some Fault in Our Stars fan fiction.
I will just rewrite everything word for word, but the only change will be is that they saw Starry Night and decided to kiss. They never went to the Anne Frank. Maybe they go to the Anne Frank house.
Oh, the bench? Do you mean the bench, Nene?
Oh, like an outside couch. I love that. That's pretty neat, actually.
Oh, okay. I understand now. Thanks for the clarification. Yes. So the bench. Apparently there's a bench in Amsterdam that they filmed The Fault in Our Stars. I just got confused.
The
bench.
Okay, but outside couch is really cute.
I love it.
Is that like the one that was always in like the promo photos?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be the bench where he like tells her like about his diagnosis.
If anyone's interested, if I can figure out technology, maybe we can watch it on Discord.
Maybe one day.
I can help out with that. I'm a
if anyone's interested,
nerd.
It gets really difficult to coordinate with time zones sometimes because everyone's all over the world.
Yeah. If somebody can help me coordinate with time zones, I'd totally be willing for a watch party.
Maybe we can do like a 24-hour marathon where we just have it on repeat, so that way everyone every single time zone can join in.
I think that would be too much, honestly.
That'd be hilarious, though. We have like somebody like sitting guard. No. But yeah, those were the two things I desperately wanted to bring up because both of them made me irrationally angry. Actually, I feel like the second one was rational. Was incredibly rational.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
I didn't hear much backlash about that unless I was unaware of it.
I think it's also
I heard backlash about it on Twitter, I think, or Tumblr or something. I
did not.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. While I have it still open, let me just read the context of the iconic okay quote. I did read this yesterday, so sorry if this is a repeat for some people. So for context, Augustus, our love interest, is discussing his dead ex-girlfriend, right? Who also shares a name with, I'm not going to say that. But right after talking about his dead ex-girlfriend with his current girlfriend, there's a little pause, and then he says, okay, he says after forever, maybe okay will be our always. Okay, I said. It was Augustus who finally hung up. Like, why did John Green just plop that in there?
I'm sorry. That's the context for the okay.
Context.
Did I even read this book? Did I even give it this rating I gave it back in 2016? I gave it like a 4-star. back in 2016.
So did I. Imagine being like, oh yeah, so I had this dead girlfriend and blah blah blah. Clearly we're not together anymore.
Imagine being Hazel in that situation.
Yeah, I know.
And
it's Augustus that says okay also. No, it was his girlfriend.
Yeah, it was his girlfriend.
It
literally was like my girlfriend
did have a girlfriend, but they just broke up. No, they broke up. There was no death involved.
They broke up like at the 1/3 mark, I want to say.
But Augustus had his own girlfriend,
who died,
and she she had a tumor, I think, and it made her personality change drastically, and she became very unpleasant, and then she died. But anyways, he's telling this to Hazel, and then there's a moment of silence, and then he just goes, okay. And Hazel's response is, okay.
Wild. That actually brings up another point that I forgot. So 3 points. I have 3 points I wanted to bring up. This book I don't know if you've ever seen that tweet about Whole Foods, which is, I'm at Whole Foods for the first time. The atmosphere is hypnotically Caucasian. That is the atmosphere of this book. It is hip. There is not nary a single racially ambiguous person in this book.
Is there even anyone in the, what is
there is the one person who is described to be like, oh, they're not as white as the rest of us, is the dead girlfriend. She's like, she's tan.
No.
But like Italian. It's literally like she's Italian.
Oh my gosh.
And I get that it's in Indiana or whatever, but I know there's brown people. I know that there is like people of color out there.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Here's
the thing. It's more that, like, I love...
Hi, Darby!
Oh yeah, hello. I love awkward teenagers, but I think the problem here is, like, John Green was trying to make it so they weren't awkward teenagers. He's trying to make them, like, wise old men. I don't know what. Like,
yes. Self-insert. Author self-insert.
Actually, I think that's what the problem was. There was no awkward. Like, I love scenes that are weird and awkward, and I feel like everything just kind of felt perfect. Like, it's hard to say a book was perfect when it's about cancer and people dying of cancer, but
it just felt too convenient. Is that the word you're trying to say?
That's a better way to say it. Like, I don't know. I was about to say, like, there's not enough struggle, as if the whole book isn't about the struggle of battling cancer. But I don't know. I feel like there wasn't enough internal conflict. That's okay. Thanks for joining.
It's just like, I think the most quote-unquote awkward moment was like when they're about to, bow, 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 like fade to black, like her like shirt gets caught in her breathing tube, and then like that's like haha awkward. They're like fumbly teenagers, and it's like what?
Even that wasn't.
If anything happened, like,
God forbid. Yeah.
Apparently, no one else that day found it awkward.
No, everyone thought it was totally acceptable to be doing that in that plate.
What did we think? Oh, keep going.
I was gonna say, like, the other thing that really, like, not bothered me, the amount of adults willing to give them alcohol. Amsterdam, totally get it. That place is free from God. They can do whatever they want. But, like, on the plane, the doctor, geez.
I did find all the scenes where Hazel's mom was like, hello, I'm here. I don't want to look at this. We're kind of like those.
The dude's assistant was there, like a real adult person, and she just let that
happen. Can we have a discussion about the author?
Yeah, that's
in
what I was
Amsterdam.
Gonna bring. Yeah, that's gonna bring.
Oh, that's what you're gonna bring up. Okay, I'll let you begin because
okay.
You read the book recently, so
low key, that was my favorite subplot. Incredibly predictable. Like, I knew that. Well, I also read the book, but I feel like it was very predictable. But I love subplots that have disappointment. Sorry to the characters, but I feel like it was a really nice representation of having or clinging on to hope, and then realizing sometimes being fueled only by hope can be a little dangerous.
It also kind of reminded me like of a parasocial relationship. You know, if you understand what I'm getting at. Like
Mhm.
some people think they're best friends with like celebrities when they're
Mm-hmm.
actual like disappointing human beings. Like and I think she was idolizing him to the point it was almost a parasocial relationship. And Augustus, I feel, kind of took advantage of that and was like, hey, why don't you meet this guy? I'm sure he was doing it with good intentions, but why don't you meet this guy and have this big trip and like let's use my make a wish and let's do this stuff. And then she meets this guy and she's disappointed. And that's also one of my favorite subplots because upon reflection, of course. Um but like yeah, I honestly think it talks a lot about celebrity as well with that subplot and how some people think that they're entitled to
Mm-hmm.
celebrity's personal private information.
Yeah, no.
I did not care for it.
I liked it.
um, I don't. Max in the chat made a very good point, but I do not think that the author is supposed to be John Green's self-insert. I think it's supposed to be Augustus, but I have thoughts about that. I just didn't care for his character. I did not care for the arc. I did not care for the like the whole subplot. It
Yeah,
just
that's what I was gonna say.
it just didn't do it for me. Because I was just like,
Mm.
okay, yeah, he's mean to children, and I get oh, like after a while you're like, oh, his trauma is that his daughter died, and like I get
Mm.
it, and he's an alcoholic.
Mm.
That's cool, like not cool, but like I understand.
Honestly, yeah. So I was thinking about this phrase too, like never meet your idols, never meet your heroes. I liked that subplot not for the development and backstory of the author, because whatever, he hates kids, clearly he has some trauma, blah 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 blah. I liked it more as a stepping stone of development for Hazel and Augustus, because I feel it's a little rude to say I'm so glad they don't get everything they want when they're literally dying of cancer, but I just feel like they were very entitled when it came to that author. And you know what? Again, like I'm trying to be a little sensitive with that because I do understand that they were trying to cling on anything to make things a little easier. But I mean, they literally went to this man's house, like
Without permission, like
I mean,
sure
I
he invited
Yeah.
them, but like that's
I believe it was his assistant
yeah,
and he didn't know anything about it.
that's
and
wild.
like
So it was really his assistant that was in the wrong.
and it is revealed that like pretty early on to Augustus and Hazel that this trip was not under the author's consent. It was because of the assistant. And like the way that they still nagged and demanded more content from an author who clearly had nothing else planned. And I loved that Hazel never really got like a solid answer to her question. But
And that kind of relates to the end of the book because she doesn't have a solid answer
good night.
to bye. She didn't really have a solid answer to Augustus's death, her future as a person with a chronic illness, perhaps terminal illness, like so I feel it all connects, and like I feel like John Green, with all his faults, he writes sometimes good, I guess. But he definitely needs to work on a lot of issues in terms of portraying certain characters like teenage girls, teenage boys, not inserting himself as the teenage boy character Yeah.
Oh, I totally agree. You know, there are really good scenes in the book, but none of them have to do with the central romance. Like, I really enjoyed any interaction between Hazel and her parents. I thought those were touching, lack of a better word. And I did like uh, when we kind of dabbled in seeing how her parents were almost grieving before she was, while she was still alive, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I liked those scenes, and I thought they were um, emotional and deep without trying to be deep. Like, they were genuine. A lot of the interactions with Augustus felt like they were trying to be deep and revolutionary and stand out. But I liked the more down to earth scenes rather than the forced, pretentious quotes.
Yep. Yep.
The one scene that sticks out in my memory as being like a scene that I genuinely liked, and I was like, oh yeah, this has good emotional narrative weight. Was when the G tube, like Jess's G tube, gets infected, and he like calls Hazel and is like, don't call my parents, don't call like an ambulance, and he like when she was like, why did you go out when you are clearly not well, and he was like, I just wanted to do something for myself. I thought that was a very like a good line to show that like he's always been pretty independent. He's always, even though he's still like technically a minor, all this stuff. So like the fact that like he is like starting to like not be well enough to do things on his own, like it's making him like genuinely like very upset. That's also like the first time we see Augustus like genuinely upset, because every single time it's always like mockery or like fake. Even when they were like with the author, he was just like disappointed and not like angry like Hazel was. This was like the first time we actually get to see him not be like this like chill, wise, deep, like hot guy.
Yeah. I honestly felt that scene where I don't know if it I know it occurred in the movie. I saw the movie more recently than I read the book rather. But where Hazel goes to him and sees him like this and hears him just fall apart, like metaphorically and physically, because he's very ill and he wants to do stuff on his own because he's so independent. That hit me very hard because I have mental health issues, and sometimes like I've been content warning for hospitalization, obviously. I've been in a similar hospitalization situation. I've been admitted. It's been a hard road for me, and to see kind of Augustus try to have that independence when he was clearly not well enough to do such a thing. I related to that on such a level. I still cry at that scene in the movie where he's just he can barely talk, and he can barely like he's just spat up on himself, and he can barely like form a coherent sentence. And I felt so, and I obviously don't have cancer. I don't have that certain experience, but I had a traumatic hospitalization, so I know how scary it can be. I know how absolutely like just awful it can be for somebody in the middle of being ill, and especially myself, who was very not aware of what was happening to me because of my mental health. So that's all I'm going to really say on that, because it's a very sensitive topic for me. But I feel like that is definitely a really big scene for me in the book, and is probably why I gave the rating I did in the past. And I don't necessarily want to give it such a low rating, but I do want to listen, and I do understand the issues that people have with Fault in Our Stars and Augustus and the way he acts. But I don't know. I've read a lot of fic lit, and sometimes it does stuff perfectly. It represents people perfectly well, but everyone is different. So, people relate to certain aspects of a character and they don't relate, and sometimes they get upset if they don't relate, and that's just how it is. But I just wanted to share that because I feel that I'm comfortable, and I thank you for really listening to this. But yeah, this this scene especially affected me.
Well, I'm sorry you went through all of that, but I'm glad you did have a scene that you feel like you could relate to, because I feel like that's really important in literature, and I feel like that's why a lot of us like to read.
Yeah.
To find things like that validate experiences.
Yeah.
I guess you could, if you want to look at it in a different way, I guess you could say maybe that's why Augustus acts the way he does, a bit more pretentious and acting like he knows everything about the world, because he clearly has his struggles and fears, and maybe that's him coping with it.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it that way, and I understand people like myself who see it that way, but I also understand other opinions who believe Augustus is a self-insert character, probably, but I don't know John Green personally. I've never spoken to the guy, so who knows? But that's the fact and the impact for me. And I love reading, so I like to get back on track instead of being a downer.
It's okay. I'm going to apologize right away for intercutting this genuinely heartfelt and very important part of the live show, because as soon as you said the self-insert thing, I had a revelation.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead with your revelation.
John Green is to YA literature as Lin-Manuel Miranda is to musicals.
I don't know anything about musicals, but I'm sure
my God. If anybody else is, I used to be a huge Hamilton stan, and then I realized upon looking at what Lin-Manuel Miranda does and what John Green does, and I just put the pieces together as you said those words.
Elise, I don't know how much you know about any Lin-Manuel Miranda musical, but before I figured out that he wasn't a great person, I listened a lot to In the Heights before even the movie came out. Lin-Manuel Miranda writes musicals in which he is the hottest man. He is the hottest man. He is so fine. He's so attractive. He's so witty. He's so charismatic. He's a great singer. He gets the hottest girl. He gets all of the girls, actually. All the women want him. And I think that John Green is the Lin-Manuel Miranda of YA literature. Obviously, it's well liked. It's, people give it accolades and spades,
yeah, #1 New York Times bestseller, movie motion picture.
Did the rounds on Tumblr. Quotable, but for all the wrong reasons.
Also, this quote, I don't like this comment. I don't want to encourage people to make judgments about others, but I feel like with many of these really popular early 2000s actors, they've really shown that when they play these really rude, know-it-all love interest characters, they tend to be like that in real life. Like, there's no secret soft side. Like, I don't know if any of you know about Ansel Elgort. Elgort, he was caught for like totally, I don't know, manipulating underage girls. And I remember that because I used to like when I was 13 because that was the thing to do. And like he would have people you'd have to spam him so he could try to follow you back and everything. Like just kind of like things that you are kind of weird now. And like Miles Teller was another really popular actor in this era. I can't remember if he was in The Fault in Our Stars, but he was in Divergent, The Spectacular Now, which also stars Shailene Woodley.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's
When
like.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure like now he's like an anti-vaxxer, total conservative.
What a strange hill to die on.
Yeah, what a awful hill to die on. I also wanted to add on to that, Elise, the Ansel Elgort thing. He was also in Baby Driver. He was the main character of Baby Driver.
Very good in that.
Very good in that, and I love that movie. But when I found out about this happening, I was like, oh no, because not because I liked him or didn't like, not that I liked him and that I believed that he didn't do this. I was just like another idiot in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Did anything bad ever come out about Theo James for
Well, now I gotta Google.
Because I think I would need to know that. Also, I couldn't remember what his name was. I kept wanting to say I kept wanting to say Thor, but his name is Thor. Theo James controversy.
I never watched Divergent. I was a Hunger Games person.
Oh, same.
No, I looked up his name in Scandal because usually like you'll get a bunch of news articles and it just is like, yeah, he doesn't want to do Divergent anymore, and I was like, well, the books are over, so.
Oh, but he's under 10 Divergent stars who became A-listers and 7 who flopped. Oh, sorry, doing the whole thing. I know Jennifer Lawrence in Hunger Games has all of her controversy. I feel like there was stuff about Shailene Woodley, but I don't remember.
I don't keep up with celebrity news.
Josh Hutcherson, I'd love to know. Not that I have to be overly involved in celebrity lives, but those are just the specific celebrities who I idolized as a kid.
It's wild.
Yeah, I really like Josh Hutcherson. I knew a lot about Josh Hutcherson as a child.
Isn't it wild that they use the exact same 10 actors for every single YA book to movie adaptation?
Yeah, because I feel like nobody else would do it.
That's fair. That is fair.
And they need to find more like less white actors.
Amen.
Also, I feel better. I looked up Josh Hutcherson, and the only articles are about him commenting on Jennifer Lawrence's scandals. So, now. Yeah. Anyways, we are almost
like where is Josh Hutcherson? Honestly,
who knows? I hope.
Where did he go?
Does
anyone cashed the check? He cashed the check and now he's living his life.
Yeah.
Do we need to pick books for the next couple months?
Does anyone have any last comments on The Fault in Our Stars before we choose books for the rest of probably the year?
I just read the worst comment that we ever gotten.
Where?
At the bottom of the. This actually physically pains me.
What was all the girls I love, all the boys I love before. Didn't he become such a teen sensation or something? Like everyone fell in love with him. Something wild like that.
You know what? He could. Noah Centineo could be Augustus. What is it? Waters, but Anson whatever the hell his name is, could not be Peter Kavinsky. That's my hot take. Anyway.
Yeah, we're all gonna get okay.
Yeah, we're all gonna get okay in various different fonts with different punctuations.
I'm gonna get like a metaphorical, a metaphor within a metaphor, like a tattoo of like a cigarette or something.
I was about to say maybe cigarettes for all of us.
I'm going to get and everybody clapped tattooed on my ass.
wait, they're
Anyway, the books for next month are gonna be next couple of months are gonna be Elise take it away. Wait, do I have to
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about your tattoo. Just out of context, that would be beautiful.
And everybody clapped. Everybody being my two ass cheeks. All right. I have the list prepared. Weird clouds. Amen, Darby.
So hold on, what's this month? September, October, November, December. Maybe we'll just go wild and do 4 books. Like we'll choose books.
Okay, September, like all the way to the end of the year?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do we want
Can I be involved in this selection? Because
of course. That's a really good one. I was actually thinking of maybe getting Anne Frank tattooed on me because it would be a metaphor for my love of this book. Yeah. And I feel like that'd be really respectful.
Like it has to be like shaped like a heart, but it looks like the Anne Frank house.
Actually, maybe I could. Yeah. Anyways,
everybody be on the lookout for my on AO3, maybe even fanfiction.net if I'm feeling spicy, my rewrite of The Fault in Our Stars where everything is basically the same, but they kiss at the Van Gogh Museum and they don't even touch the Anne Frank house with a 39.5-foot pole.
That would be really nice.
Books for until the end of the year. Let's roll.
Okay, do we want to just do... So what we usually do is we have a huge list of all the books, then we do a random number generator. Do we want to do what we've done the past 2 times where we choose like 4 options per month and then we vote on Twitter, or do we just do the random number generator 4 times and those are the books?
I think we should just let fate decide right now.
Okay, yeah, let's fate decide. Let's fate decide rather.
I have the list, so you don't have to click back and forth. So whenever you are ready.
And I'm just saying right now, I will cheat if necessary. Okay.
I was going to say, the group chat already knows what we want. Whether or not we'll get it is an entirely different story.
Okay. So there's 111 options, although some of them we already chose. Yeah. Okay.
So okay.
There's an official list.
Right. So our book...
I don't know this list, so...
Maybe... Well, I don't think I can screen share twice. It's just a random list we've compiled over the past few months. Of
if you have recommendations, anything written before 2017 that was popular, I will at it, and I will do my best to add it at some point.
Okay.
Not all the John Green books.
I've
reached my threshold for the rest of my life.
So September is going to be Paper Towns. October, we're going to do Looking for Alaska.
I thought you were being dead ass. I was about to quit the club right here, right now. I was going to be like, nope.
November, my favorite, Abundance of Catherines. December, we'll get a little earlier. Maybe we'll do Turtles all the way down. Okay, so I guess our September book, that was my drum roll, is, I'm scared.
It's okay.
Percy Jackson, 13.
13. No, we can't do that one. We already read Cinder. Do it again.
Well,
I'm gonna fix the list.
Unfortunate. Okay. False Alarm. September is 9.
9. Before I Fall by Lauren Oliver. Yay!
Oh,
September read.
I've
never read it before.
Okay. Me neither.
I'm gonna just put that in the chat.
Yeah. Can you also send me a list of the link? The Elise, can you send me a list of the books and I'll read them.
Hold on.
We'd love to see it.
Or try to, rather.
Here, it's gonna be in the private chat.
All right, guys. We want 79 or 3. Big money, no whammies.
Okay, and then October. This is my birthday month. Little fun fact is I might cheat for my birthday month.
Okay.
17. Why are all the numbers small? 17 is Shatter Me. You know what? I'll keep it. I remember liking it as a kid, and I feel like I'm gonna.
I read that. Oh my God.
I've also never read this. A lot of these I actually have never read because my parents love.
I've actually read Shatter Me.
To not let me read things.
Okay, I'm not seeing Percy Jackson yet. November.
Right. 3 or 75. Big money, no whammies. 51. is going to be Beautiful Creatures. I actually do like this book, unironically, full stop.
Okay, Beautiful Creatures, and then we might rig the game for the last one.
Yeah, I think we should rig it as a treat.
Let's just
it's
click
December.
To see
it's the holidays.
Okay, December.
Yeah, give us a Christmas present.
What is 32? Again, we'll probably just scrap it.
32 is Dear Martin.
That is not the. I don't know who put that there. That is not the correct era. It's Dear Martin.
There's too many 2017s. I have to cull the list.
62 is.
62 is Across the Universe.
Just kidding. That was a.
Why are you just gonna keep going?
29
we already read.
No, wait, we already did 29. It was Simon versus the Homo sapien agenda.
59. Throne of Glass. I categorically refuse to read this book.
Yeah, Sarah J. Maas has too much controversy we don't support.
18, I'm going to cull this list later.
18 is Legend. I actually do like Legend. But...
Okay, then we can read Legend. That's fine.
No, actually, I reread it and it was bad, actually.
If you just want to read Percy Jackson, we can just do it as a nice little holiday treat. It's the end of the year.
Okay.
We can rig the system.
Can we please do Percy Jackson at the end of the year?
Absolutely. 20 was technically the Maze Runner, and I'm definitely rereading it at some point, even though the author is terrible. Where's Percy Jackson?
It's up the top, December 3. Remember, we wanted 79 or 3.
Okay, and then for December, we have 3, which is Percy Jackson.
Wow! I never would have thought. That's so exciting, you guys.
That's so exciting.
The gods divine and the stars aligned. How beautiful. You love to see it. You love to see it, guys. All right.
Could we want to rate anything else, or are we happy with our selections?
Yeah. If you have any suggestions for the book club, and books at me.
Yeah.
Don't message me.
If anyone particularly wants to override a selection, I will rig the system again. It is my system. I can rig if I so please. If anyone particularly passionate about a different book.
Amen.
All right, so I guess we're going to be reading Before I Fall, Shatter Me, Beautiful Creatures, and The Lightning Thief. Now what? Finger guns. Anyways, thank you, friends, for joining. I suppose, maybe I'll take a picture so I know what our books are. I guess that is it for now. Very exciting times, but thank you all for hating on our August book. Hope you all will stick around for our next 4 books. It's been fun. Thank you, both of you. That came weird. Thank you. Nope. Whatever. Thank you, Andy and Sierra, for joining me. And I hate ending these. Bye.
Bye.
Yo.
Oh, God.